Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Susan Petersen.
And I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen.
Hi, Kit.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. It's such a good day.
It is pretty, but it is
Cooler.
We're going to talk about the weather. We were just going to, it's nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah, I just like those mountains and
It
blue
is
skies.
gorgeous here, but it is a little muggy.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I like too. I
feel like my skin feels
gloomy
better.
day too. But the sun came out.
What are you doing today?
Ooh, today, I am just checking things off my to-do list. I leave to go out of town tomorrow. I'm flying into Seattle and going to Whidbey Island. Got some fuzzies on the mic.
I know, I'm just picking. It is so pretty up there.
I've never been and I'm so excited.
Oh.
I'm doing no kids. So just been like packing and organizing for that, cleaning up for my cleaners to come while I'm out of town, getting all the crap out of my car because I am getting my car detailed while I'm gone too.
Yeah, get that yogurt off.
Yeah, it's actually a milkshake now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she shook a milkshake in the car last week. And like I got the milkshake cleaned up, but it's like, on the ceiling, the stuff that I couldn't like get off the seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be like a smell in there. So, no, you saw my car, it was disgusting.
It was so funny. I was helping Kit put stuff in her car. She's like, don't look at my car. It's gross. It's like you live in your car.
Yeah, no, I do.
You have young children.
Yeah. So
you have to keep them
detailed.
entertained. I remember every time I would get my car detailed, I'm like, no one's eating in my car. 5 minutes later, I'm handing the food back.
I like
Goldfish.
know that I
Here
can't
you
even
go.
say that.
Yeah.
No more bottles in my car. I will say that.
Oh, because no one's on a bottle?
Well, Nora still like loves a bottle, which is fine. I let Liv have a bottle until she was like 3 because I know that if she's a bad eater that day or whatnot, like I know that she's getting protein and calories and she's getting hydrated. So I'm like, I love a bottle if you're like going to drink that. What I don't love that Nora does is she bites the tip off the bottle and then sprays it. And I'm just like,
while you're driving down the freeway.
Oh, yeah. And like constantly I get like stuff chucked at my head too, where I'm like, ow, what was that? Like a keychain, a snow globe. I don't know. Just like all kinds of things. So
a dart.
Yeah, honestly. So I'm like, I'm done with the bottles.
In the car.
I like kind of want to be done, period.
Yeah.
Because like every week I'm having to buy new tips because she just chews the tip off.
Come on, Nora.
And I'm like, that's a choking hazard. So like we got to be done.
Yeah.
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 End of an era. I moved her out of her crib too.
I saw on your Instagram. It looks
She's
so
doing
cute.
so good.
Oh.
I think it was like, how she's been a bad sleeper. I think it's because she like thrashes a lot and like wakes herself up because she's always like smacking her head on like the
bars.
Yeah. So yeah, so far she's like been in there for I think 3 nights and had 3 naps and she's done so good.
Oh, so good. Okay. You ready for some Mom Confessionals?
I'm so ready. These are my very favorite.
We actually look forward to these. These are so fun. She says, my kid is 15. He still sleeps on the floor in our bedroom because he's scared to sleep alone.
That's like kind of tender.
It's really cute. My brother loves scary movies, but gets really scared.
Yeah.
We were in our 20s and he had to sleep on the floor in my bedroom.
That's so funny.
After we'd watched like The Sixth Sense or something.
I mean,
like,
I probably would have to do that too. I like get so scared.
I hate scary movies. I won't watch them anymore.
Awful.
No, not into it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be scared.
You know what? I think that, so I'll say this. And like, I'm not meaning it judgmental. 15's a little bit old. 15's a little old for that. However, this stage only lasts for so long. Like Liv will come in our room right now almost like every night, either on like a floor bed or on like our bench at the end of our bed. And I'm like, you know what? Like, how special is it that we've created a space where she feels so safe? And so I'm like, you know what? That's just what she needs right now. And that's probably what your 15-year-old needs. And they're not going to be in your house forever. So like, I guess soak it up.
I also feel like as long as you can preserve your children's innocence, you should.
Yeah.
Life makes it so they're younger and younger.
Yeah.
So just let him. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Okay. This one is, I yell to get the kids to listen to me or count down from 5. I know this is considered bad parenting, but it's the most successful for me, honestly. I mean, I try not to yell, but sometimes like it just happens. I saw this meme and I thought it was so funny. It was like, hey neighbors, if you ever hear me yelling like at my kids, know that I asked them 10 times first. And I'm like, that is so relatable. And it's like, unfortunately, sometimes like yelling does get the point across, and that's so sad. But like sometimes you have to yell. I have to yell like if Liv's about to run into the street, or yeah, like sometimes it's serious. And I think like give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. Again, hold yourself accountable, apologize, and try not to do it again.
Listen, all kids are different. All stages of parenting are different. Like, honestly, sometimes whatever you got to do.
Yep. We're all just trying our best.
Okay. She says, I sleep in while my kids wake up and watch the tablets. They now know they can't have them until 7 a.m. I get to sleep in a tad longer.
I
Great.
love that for you.
Great. I used to do this where I would put the TV on in my room and just go back to sleep.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah. And let the kids just watch a show.
Yeah. I'm like, come snuggle me in bed. That's actually like my favorite is like in the mornings when it's a decent hour. And they'll like come in and just like be in my bed and just like a slow morning.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this. So I can actually remember the last time Gus came into my room to tell me he was awake. And I think he was like 7 or 8. And then he just stopped doing that. And then they just get up and they're self-sufficient.
Yeah. And that's like kind of sad, but like so
sad.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bittersweet.
And now like they sleep in on the weekends until 1 or 2. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not a mom that's like, oh, you have to get up and get your chores done.
I'm like, great. If you want to sleep, you're out of my hair.
You need sleep. You're growing.
Mm-hmm.
You're, figuring your life out in your sleep. So I just let them sleep.
I love that. I've like given Liv my phone a couple times when she's like woken up early and I'm like, oh, I just need like a few minutes to like do my meditation and like wake up. But then she calls like literally everyone in my phone book and just like FaceTimes and like sends people weird stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Does it earn you some time though?
It earns me time. And like, honestly, the people that she calls, they love it. It's usually like my mom, my dad, all of my siblings, my parent or my in-laws. Yeah, she calls a lot of people. And then like a lot of them don't answer too. So then later in the day, I get like a million FaceTimes and I'm like, sorry, that was Liv.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like a social queen. I'm surprised she hasn't called you.
I'm actually shocked.
Yeah.
I'd answer.
I'll tell her that she can FaceTime. I'm just kidding. We don't want to open up.
You can.
No,
I love
you
it.
give her an inch, she'll take a mile.
Which I love about Liv.
Yeah,
it's my favorite thing.
She's great. Okay, this one says, I sometimes listen to murder mystery podcasts with my headphones on while hanging out with my baby. I think that's fine. As long as you're like, maybe your baby's not hearing it. Like that might be spooky.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too.
Also, it's so boring to play. I don't like playing with my kids. I don't like to play.
I like playing Barbies.
Oh yeah, you've already said that. Yeah.
I love playing Barbies. I just think it's so funny. But yeah, I don't love the other like pretend play. Yeah. I'm like, I'll sit and be like, yeah, make me food in your play kitchen.
Right.
But like I'm like, I got you toys to entertain yourself. I also think independent playtime is so important.
Yes, I think your kids need to play, not with you entertaining them the whole time.
Yeah, they need that. They need to figure out how to be creative.
Okay. Sometimes I ask my mom to watch my son so I can watch Netflix uninterrupted. Great.
That's self-care, girl.
Great. Amazing. Also, like, I feel like there's those days when you're like, I cannot wait to get them down for a nap. I have so many things I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You get them down for a nap. You sit down to check your phone for a second. Pretty soon you look up. They're waking up. It's been 2 hours. And I feel like if that you need it.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, listen to your body. I like that thing where it's like rest so you don't quit. And yeah, I think that if you want to watch Netflix, that's great. And that's probably what you need.
Well, and I feel like as two queens who've had full nervous breakdowns, real ones, I had one, now it's been 3 years. And I would attribute a lot of why I had a nervous breakdown was because I was so hard on myself and felt like I had to push through moments where I needed time to watch Netflix uninterrupted.
Amen. I have like a constant inner fight dialogue of like, stop being lazy, don't be lazy. And it's like, no,
Yes.
resting is not lazy.
No, in fact, like just as we're talking, I am listening to you, but also I'm going through my to-do list in my head and giving
that's me
myself a
always.
hard time for some things I didn't do this morning.
Yeah.
And
Stop
it's
that.
like, stop, you're fine. And there's stuff that only I know about, no one else knows about, and they actually don't impact anyone else's life.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. But man, does it feel good to cross things off the
I know.
list.
We're so weird.
No, my husband's like, are you good? I'm like, no. I mean,
Actually,
probably not.
I am now because I just crossed that off the list.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, it's me now.
Yeah.
I hate being the only one to clean up everyone's messes around the house, plus the dog. That's fair. I think too, depending on like the age of your kids, it probably feels like you're never not cleaning up messes. That's really frustrating. I just implemented 2 things that I would like to share.
Okay.
One of them I've been doing for a few months. So I'm like, I feel like it's pretty good. I try not to pick up after my kids throughout the day. And then I just do I call it my closing shift. I turn down all the main lights in the house and then just like work by lamp and candle, turn on like a podcast or like a couple songs or playlists, like a short playlist that I have that has a couple songs. And then I only clean until those songs or like that podcast is over. And I'm like, okay, great. And like, I always make sure like, not me doing the dishes, but I always make sure my husband has like the sink clean of dishes and like whatever I get done great. And that's helped a lot because then you're not like, oh my gosh, always. I mean, I try to make my kids like clean up, but also I would way rather have a messy house and happy kids than like, than just the opposite of that.
I've noticed that when I start to feel resentful for something that I'm always doing, I actually need to pull myself out of the situation, walk away and do something.
Yeah.
Go on a girls trip.
Yep.
Go spend the day away from the house. Go out without the kids. Like, it is so hard to feel like you're carrying the mental load of the house. And I've had this conversation with my husband multiple times because I work and he stays at home. And our standards of where I want the house and where he does it, it's different. And I feel like it is actually harder to be the stay-at-home parent.
Oh yeah.
Because your fulfillment that you get from a job well done, it never comes.
Yeah.
And so I think that if you're feeling resentful, I said this in the last podcast we recorded, but like uncommunicated expectations is premeditated resentment. And so if you are feeling that way, I would start communicating with your family. I have a girl that works for me. She just sat everyone down and was like, hey, no one can call me again during work. You text me first. I'll get back to you when I can, unless it's an absolute emergency. Someone's on fire, something's burning down. Because it's summertime, so she was getting interrupted like every 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Yes. When my kids call, it is like my heart starts racing. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so it's okay, I think, to share that mental load, even with your children in a small way. Like, hey, I don't call you right before you're going to take a test.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call you while you're having fun with your friends and you're getting worried that mom needs something. Like, let's go ahead and have this be a respectful place where we're all helping each other out. I think I have been there where you feel like you are doing everything.
Yeah.
And that is like the worst feeling ever. And so I think you just have to start communicating.
I agree with that. There's been times for me and like there's ebbs and flows and times with like my family members or friends where they're like, it feels like I'm doing it and then like my partner is just helping.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, it should be a partner. It should be split up. Like one thing I think that also helps is if there's like a lot to do, like before a trip, for example, I'll create a note on my note app and I just like assign the things to my husband. I share it with him and I assign my things. And then I'm like, okay, great. That's what you have to do. That's mine. Especially if you're somebody that carries that mental load. Yeah, just like full blown assigning and delegating some of your things.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I was going to say about cleaning up the house too that I just started like a month ago that's been great is I have a crap bowl or a crap basket. Instead of like running up and down when I like find a random like Lego or toy or hair bow or something like that, I just put it in the crap bowl. Sometimes it's the end of the week or just whenever that crap bowl is full, then I make Liv and Nora put the stuff away. And like I have a 2-year-old and I'm like, she knows where things go. She can help put stuff away.
Yeah.
And I've loved that.
That's so smart. Something else we did, which this has nothing to do with cleaning the house, but when I used to go on business trips, my young children would cry. Why are you leaving? What are you doing? And Chris would be like, they miss you so much. And then I'd call and they wouldn't even want to talk to me. They don't even care when I'm gone. So I was like, Christian, I can't do this anymore. It makes me feel so guilty. And then I don't actually think the emotion matches what's happening.
Yeah.
So we made a rule that no matter who's leaving, they can say, hey, I'm going to miss you, but we can't like throw a fit about it. And the other partner needs to like support the person who's leaving for work or going and be like, yeah, I miss mommy too, but she has to go and do work. Oh, it just like changes the whole thing. And so I think if you're feeling this way, just talk about it.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm exhausted. I don't want my kids to touch me, but I love their hugs. Relatable.
Yeah, sometimes you're touched out.
Yes. The only advice I have is it's a short window.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like put a moratorium on it. Like no one's touching me today.
Yeah.
You only get one hug a day.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. Show them other forms of love for that day if you're feeling touched out. And you can communicate that. Yeah. You can say, hey, mommy just like doesn't want to be touched right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And then that gives them permission to say that as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love it.
This next one says, I screamed in the fridge this morning because my toddler was going crazy. That's great.
Good
for you. If that's a release, like people say that like screaming, there's like scream therapy.
Yeah. I mean, we went to, what was it called?
Oh, a Smash Lab, Rage Room.
Yes, a Rage Room. And that was actually
that was
real
so
nice.
Fun. Should we go back to that?
Yeah. Well, and there is like a study out there and I can't remember who did it, but it was like a reputable like Mayo Clinic or Harvard Business School or whatever on hockey players and how they're actually the most calm outside of the sport because it is part of playing the sport that you like slam into people.
You get your rage out.
And get your rage out. And then outside of hockey, they're like calm and gentle and kind. And so I think like if you're getting like it's starting to boil over, go for a run. I used to have an office where I had a brick wall outside and I was really upset about some things that had happened. And I bought a stack of plates from the thrift store and I would go out and throw the plates at the brick wall.
That sounds so fun.
It was so fun. And I would scream while I do it. And it was like in this alley that no one went down, except for we had a homeless guy that lived back there. And I always say like the homeless guy you know is better than the one you don't.
Oh, 100%.
So I would just tell John like, hey, I'm having a hard time. I'm going to throw plates. And if you ever want to throw a plate, you can throw a plate. And it was amazing. And when that stack of plates ran out, I didn't buy a new stack, but I think about it often.
Yeah. Also, you should see Susan with a crowbar and a bottle. She's so good.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Both of us. It's just fun.
It's
like
so
get that
fun.
rage out, girl.
I like to, I love like the sensation of this. Clay pigeons. I don't want to like shoot them in the sky. I want to like crack and break them and like step on them.
Sure.
So go get a box of clay pigeons. It's so fun.
Yeah. And maybe throw those at a wall.
Yeah. Throw anything.
Yeah.
Just like not people.
Yeah.
Don't throw punches
Get together
at
with
people.
your ladies and do a rage room. It is real fun.
Highly recommend.
Yes. Thank you guys.